MXGP 24 was a train wreck of a motocross game. In my opinion, it was the worst MXGP game in the series. Even worse, in my opinion, than Mud. Mud was meant to be kind of an arcade, cartoony MXGP game. It was made a long time ago, so Mud gets a pass. But this game, not this game, this is MXGP 2021. MXGP 24 was awful. It was terrible. I was actually going to have a little bit of gameplay in the video for you if you haven't seen it, but I tried to go into the game, and every time I tried to go to a race or time attack, it would crash, and I would get a different crash report. I tried verifying the files, I tried just reinstalling the game completely, updating drivers, all that stuff, the simple basic stuff, and it still would do it. And maybe there's a way to fix it, but I don't play the game, and it wasn't worth my time to try to figure it out. So that game doesn't even work for me anymore on PC. It's just on PC. But yeah, so a really bad game in my opinion. Now, MXGP 25 is supposed to come out later this year. There has been no word about it, but we do know that Nakon and Infront Moto Racing came to an agreement to develop a MXGP game over the next 5 years from 2024 through 2028. Other than that, and we'll come back to it in a second, that information, but other than that, there is no sign pointing to a new MXGP game. And you might say, well, that's a really big one, they have to do it, and you're right, but I have seen, I was going to say many times, but a few times, an IP pulled from a developer for whatever reasons. The most recent one that I can think of would be Overkill and Starbreeze. They develop and created the Payday series. You probably have heard of it. Payday 1, Payday 2. Really fun games, but they tried making a Walking Dead game, and that was so bad, it underperformed so much that the IP was pulled from them. The game was removed from Steam. You can still play it. I do own it. You can still play it, but you can't buy it. The IP was pulled because of how bad it was. So the IP, you would have to assume, Infront Moto Racing, probably somewhere in the agreement, it says that, they manage the MXGP series and all the rights and stuff, that if they're not happy with it, they can revoke the licensing, and KT Racing can no longer make the MXGP game. No, there is no information about it. There has been no word about it. I'm not saying that the MXGP license has been pulled from Nakon or KT Racing, but it is a possibility that it could happen. I just want to put that out there, that no, that isn't a 100% guarantee that obviously they're going to make a new MXGP game because their agreement says they have to. There is no guarantee on it, but again, there is no information saying that the licensing has been removed or revoked. So I just want to talk about that. Now, the rest of the information, I did kind of go over the internet as much as I could, and I could find no information, no announcement, no nothing from Nakon, from KT Racing, from any other information news outlet about a new MXGP 25. The only thing that thinks there's going to be a new MXGP game would be Google, the Google AI. If you go to Google and type in enough different ways of saying, is there going to be a new MXGP game, most of the time it brings up Supercross 25, but once in a while it will say, yes, there is a new MXGP game. But the only reason I believe that the Google AI says that is because it's just collecting information about the game from the internet, and they found the information that KT Racing is supposed to do an MXGP game through 2028. So that's the only reason I would assume the AI is saying for sure there's going to be a new game. Everywhere else, there isn't anyone or any place saying there won't be one, but there's no information about a new one. Not from Nakon, not from KT Racing. Nakon did the Nakon Connect event where they live stream for half an hour, and announce the new games that we'll be releasing and more popular games that will have a lot of content dropped for them throughout 2025. Test Drive was one of them. Raven's Watch. Both those games came out the year before, I believe, or maybe even the year before that with Raven's Watch. But both of them were in the Connect event, but no MXGP. I know KT Racing is developing a new, I believe it's a racing game, a car game maybe. They're developing a new game, but that doesn't necessarily mean they won't be doing an MXGP game. I mean, I checked and I believe KT Racing employs about 150 to 200 people, 148 I believe in 2021, so you would have to assume it might be, I mean, it could be less, but it might be more now. So they have enough employees, enough developers and people to be developing more than one game, obviously. But it does worry me that there's no information out there. There's nothing. We know the MXGP 24 game was really bad. I mean, another thing that would, I forgot to mention it, lead to a possibility of revoking the licensing, pulling the IP from Nacon, is that I believe when MXGP 24 released the year before, the MXGP official Instagram account made a post about it, and there was so much negativity for that game on that post, I believe it was them, that they removed the comments. They didn't want to hear it, they didn't want to see it, so they know how the community feels about it. And I don't believe this publicity would be good for MXGP, because MXGP, I mean, I don't really follow it that closely. I do watch the highlights and see some of the comments from the people and the viewers and the fans, and I don't believe MXGP is doing really, really, really good right now. I mean, sometimes in the 250 class, the MX2s, there's like less than 20 riders. I mean, it just doesn't seem like it's doing that great, and then to have a video game representing it get tons of negative feedback and not sell well and stuff definitely isn't going to help the series. And the point of the game for In-Front Moto Racing is to grow the series, make more fans, get people curious, bring in more viewers, bring in more people to the races. I mean, that's the whole goal, and the game just simply did not do that. I mean, I don't believe that MXGP 24 made any money. I do not believe it made money. If I had to guess, I don't know because I couldn't find it. I tried to find it, but I couldn't find it. I would be willing to assume that MXGP 24 lost money. Now, if they didn't get the IP pulled from them, then yes, they probably will be developing a new one. But having no word, no mention, no nothing about it would make me believe that they're not going to invest much time, resources, developers, whatever, into the game. They're probably going to, I mean, I hope I'm wrong, and I hope that KT Racing is going to make MXGP for 4 more years, and they're going to improve it, and it's going to be the best MXGP game we've ever seen. That's what I hope. So no, this isn't to try to slam dunk on KT Racing or the developers. I know developing a video game isn't easy, but you have to do better than what you did with MXGP 24. I know it was their first dirt bike game, so you got to give them a little bit of a pass, but that game was so awful that, I mean, it's just going to stay with me for years to come. That if somebody says, what's the worst motocross game to buy that's kind of new? MXGP 24. It was bad. It was terrible. So it has to be better. And with no announcement or information about developing a new one, it makes me believe if they're going to develop one, there's going to be very little effort put into it. And again, I hope I'm wrong, but that's what it feels like. So it does worry me. I'm thinking right now that the game is either 1, going to be canceled, or 2, it's just going to be maybe slightly better than the year before. But again, I hope I'm wrong. I'm really curious to see what you guys think. Do you think for sure 100% we're going to be getting a new MXGP 25? Maybe you know something I don't. But do you believe we'll be getting a new MXGP 25 game? And if we are getting one, if you do feel like we will be getting one, will it be better? Will they put the time, the effort, the development into the game to improve it, to make it more fun, sell more copies, and do better, have a better reception than MXGP 24 had? Or do you think that it will just be a copy and paste of the year before? They didn't make money on it, so they're not going to waste development into the MXGP series. So I'd be really curious to see. I think it's a really interesting situation. Not a good one for KT Racing Nacon, but still interesting because we really don't know. There is no confirmation. It's just a bunch of signs that point to no, they won't be making one, or it'll have very little development in it. So Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, but you guys and girls are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for the support on the channel lately. It really does mean a lot. And until the next video, take it easy.